Alright, we're checking out the new e-bike rack by Young Electric. This is a 2-bike rack for e-bikes up to 5-inch wide tires. It's very well made for the price. Mine's a little dirty because it's been on the back of my truck for a couple weeks now. But let's show you how this works. So obviously it folds up whenever you're not using it. And all you have to do is take this little pin out and pull this. There's that. And then this folds down. It's mostly metal construction. The only plastic pieces are the wheel cradles, these things right here, the straps, and then the little lever right here to make this slide. Everything else is pretty much metal, and then this part right here, which is how you secure the bike. Now there's one on each side, so when you have both bikes up here, you can secure them. And these little things right here slide up and down. You put one this way and you put one this way. So this is what you secure to the bike frame to hold it in place. A little hard to get out, but this part right here is like a rubber material, and this is going to protect the frame, the paint, so it won't damage it. And then this slides in and tightens everything up. And these slide up and down, so depending on where you secure it on the bike, you have the option to change the height of this. And if you're only putting one bike up, you can leave this down. Now what I do is I flip these around when I store it so that they're not in the way of the main part there where the wheels go. I will put them like this and then fold them down, or I'll have them in the upper position as well and then slide them down. So when it's in its static position with no bikes, I like to reorientate this so it's not in the way of anything. Before I load the bikes, I'll also just flip these around. I'll just loosely tighten these so it just stays there. They don't get in the way when you're loading the bikes, and that makes it really easy to load and unload. Now down here, this is where your front wheel goes. It's got these straps here, and the front tire will just load up right there. You're going to be loading the bike that way up into here and securing them down. So today I'm going to load a couple bikes on here and show you how it works. But the first thing we got to do is take the ramp off. So the ramp is securely attached to the bike rack, so you don't ever have to worry about it dangling around in your car or anything. It just stays back here. And then the ramp will just slide right into this little slot here. Since my truck is on the driveway, my ramp kind of slants down a little bit more than normal. Normally it would be like at this angle, which to me would be a little bit easier to load. When we get to the other side, we'll be flat on the concrete and you'll see that. But let's go ahead and load up a couple bikes. We'll start with the front. Undo these straps for front and back. So I got my first bike here. And I want to use 2 fat tire e-bikes, 26x4, because they're the biggest. If these can fit, everything can fit. And I gotta avoid my Halloween decorations, so this is gonna be a little bit awkward. So loading up is pretty easy. I wish the ramp was a little bit better made, maybe just a tad bit wider. With these fat tires, it's pretty narrow. But once you get it up here, just slide it in there and it's already pretty secure. Now these wheel things slide, you will have to adjust those. So let's roll this out a little bit. And you can pretty much do this with one hand, no problem. Slide that up, and that's almost in the perfect spot. And we can attach this right to the seat post. So that'll be like that. And because these can kind of rotate, you can do that. Some of my other bikes, I put it down here at the bottom, but because of the full suspension, we're just going to attach it to the seat post. When you load your e-bike, make sure you do remove the battery. So I've already removed the battery off both the bikes I'm going to load today. And then the final thing you have to do is take the strap for your rear tire. Slide it through here, and that's it. And then it's got rubber here to protect your wheel. It's all really well made. So then we do the same thing with this strap. Run it through the wheel. Strap it down. And this thing ain't going nowhere. It's super, super secure. Alright, so we're going to move the ramp over to the other side. See how much of an angle it's at now? It's a lot less than the other one. Make sure your kickstand's up. And roll your bike up. And make sure you always have a hold of it in case it falls down. Now you may have to angle this to get by the handlebars on the second bike. Or the first bike, I guess. And then you just do this. And we want to make sure that we got this out of the way. And that's pretty much it. Tighten that. Trying to do it the most difficult way so you guys can see that it doesn't really matter which way you go. But there's that. Come over here. And over time this is going to get easier and easier, especially if you use the same two bikes. But as you can see, I didn't even have to do any adjustments to this one really. Move the wheel cradle up a little bit here. And we'll go down and secure the tires. So come over here, grab the strap, run it through the spokes, find the right placement for it. Make sure that rubber is on the face of the wheel so nothing gets scratched up. I don't think it would get scratched up anyways, but run your strap down. Be careful of the chain so you don't get oil on your hands at all. Make sure you're not bending any of your spokes when you strap this down, so you can rotate the wheel a little bit if you need to. Now that took all of about 5 minutes to do. If I wasn't videoing, I could probably load up 2 bikes in less than that time for sure. So remove your ramp, just slides back in place here. Take your pin, don't forget that part or you'll lose your ramp. So right here is your threaded hitch pin. It screws in. You have to have a pretty big socket. If you plan to take the hitch pin out, you'll have to have a 24mm socket or wrench, or a monkey wrench, or a adjustable crescent wrench, but a socket's going to be the best. Now there is a pin over here on this side which you will have to remove, and then you'll undo the thread. But you do need a 24mm socket to get this out, and there is no lock on here, though this might be more secure. I don't think many people carry a 24mm socket around with them. Even so, I would still suggest getting a locking hitch pin. I'll leave a link to a couple in the description if you're interested in, swapping this out and securing your rack even more. This does secure it for travel. Because it's threaded, it's not going to come out, and plus it has a pin on the other side, so that's not going to happen at all. This also has a pin on it so that you can rotate it up towards your car if you were to drive this around without any bikes on it, or if you unload and you want to lift it up to make sure nobody hits it in the parking lot, you can also do that. Very, very well made though. We'll see here in the driving footage. It really is secure. I highly recommend this rack, especially at the price. I will have a discount code for this bike rack, so look down in the description and there should be a coupon code to save you some money off the price of this rack, which it's already at an affordable price regularly, but with the coupon code you will save a little bit more money. Now they have a couple different variations of this rack. They have one without the ramp that folds down, so if you have a hatchback or a minivan or something, you can still get into the back of it. With that version it'll tilt down, but that one doesn't have the ramp. So if you're wanting one for your SUV and you still want to be able to get access to your hatch when you have the bikes on here, you'll have to get the other version, and that'll allow you to pull the the whole rack down at an angle to open up your door. So this is my other bike rack. It's a Hollywood rack. It's in its up position right now. This one is extremely well made. The ramp's really good, and this has a tilting feature that the bikes can actually turn vertically, where they're like laying on their side basically, which is kind of cool. I'm going to be doing a full 1-year review of the Hollywood Racks Destination E. I use this a ton when we were moving, transporting bikes back and forth to our storage shed and then to here, and it's just been incredible. But we're going to be doing a full dedicated review of this, tell you what my thoughts are, some things that I think that they can improve, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, the Young Electric Mate R is absolutely a really good value for what you get. This can hold up to 200